All right. What's up, everybody? Let's see if the stream is working. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Go check X and YouTube. All right, looks like we're live on X. Good over there. Let's go check the YouTube side. All right, we're good on YouTube. All right, we are live. What's up, chat? Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend and is ready to crush the market this week. Let's fucking do this thing. So. Welcome to the Sunday night live. Let's look over a few charts. So I sent over a few charts to the X account earlier. Which ones did I send out? I sent out a small chart on XOM and Visa. I sent Pepsi. I sent MRK and CVX. If you're in the premium Discord, you'll see a bunch of shit in there. I think I sent about 20 charts in the premium Discord, so I have a lot of things on watch this week right now. So let me go pull up the earnings calendar. Obviously, the big thing this week is NVIDIA earnings. I think that's going to be the biggest anticipation of the market this week, which, if I'm not mistaken, it should be Wednesday after the close. It is indeed. So let me go over the earnings calendar just real quick. Not all of it, just the main ones that I'm going to be watching. So going into tomorrow before market open. You have a few. Main one I'm looking at is XPEV, and then after the close, you have TCOM. Tuesday is kind of where it starts for me. Tuesday for the earnings before the open, you have HD, which is Home Depot. You have Baidu and PDD. You also have Futu, and that's about it. You have MDT as well, but nothing too crazy. So mainly Home Depot, Baidu, PDD there before the open, and then after the close, nothing significant. Wednesday, my favorite Target, Lowe's, TJX, and uh, that's about it for before the open. Those three, and then after the close will be obviously Nvidia and Pan W. Those are the main two. So obviously Nvidia being the big one that most people are going to be watching. Thursday, another great one. You have Walmart before the open. After the close, you have INTU, you have Gap, Ross, and Bull. And Friday, nothing. So you have a few great ones this week. Like my favorite will be Wednesday. Yes, TGT will be a top watch for me going into this week. I really like TGT, and I do like Walmart as well for upside. I know retail's not looking the best right now, but I am excited for TGT and Walmart. Believe it or not, I've told the story before. TGT is actually my biggest options gain of all time outside of SPX. I've taken SPX zero DTEs before, got lucky for like just over like 30, 35, 3,600 one time. But outside of that, TGT is actually my highest one for about 2,500% on puts due to earnings. So I was in a position prior and then swung a contract and turned a couple $100 into a couple grand overnight. So that one was fun. So yeah, Wednesday is going to be the big one. TGT, Lowe's, TJX, and then PanW and NVIDIA. So make sure you have those things marked on your calendars. Do not be surprised if you're in positions on these names and then forget that they have earnings. So those are some of the top things on the earnings counter going into this week. So let's go ahead and jump into some charts. Obviously, the main three that I'm always going to cover: SPY, QQQ, and IWM. Again, I've already sent out charts on XOM, V, Pepsi, CVX, and MRK earlier. I'm currently in MRK still, the $100 calls for March 2026, currently up 45%. And I did trim out some of those, actually over half that position, and then still in it for a swing. There's a few others I think I want to cover. Um, we'll look at Pepsi and KO. Going to look at most likely, along with CVX. Okay, look at another one, DVN. Um, and then I'll spill the beans on potentially four or five other ones. If I don't cover them, I'll just go ahead and mention them now. I'm keeping them on watch. Ticker ABBV, ticker ABT, and ticker DDOG, and then two banks on watch, JPM and BAC, Bank of America. So we're going to talk about a bunch of shit. I've already sent out a lot of charts. I'm not going to cover obviously all of them because it's way too much, but a few of those names keep on watch. So let's go ahead and jump into it. If you're here on the YouTube side, make sure you do like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is free to do so. If you're watching over on the X, please do like and repost the stream right now. I would greatly appreciate it. This is live and also recorded and will be saved onto my X profile as well to the YouTube channel. But for the ones that cannot attend the session live because they have other obligations to attend to right now, whether it's work, the game that's on TV right now, whatever it is, they can watch this charting session later for educational purposes only at their own time. So the more people that like and repost it, the easier it is to find. So please do like and repost it. That way people can watch this charting session before next market open, just so they can get a quick recap of the things that we're going to cover tonight. So would greatly appreciate it. And let's go ahead and jump into it. Liv, I appreciate you. Yes, make sure you do like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're almost at 2.10 subs on the YouTube side. Let's go. We did cross over 47,000 followers on the X account as well. Love and appreciate you all. I'm going to go ahead and make this announcement because I changed my bio on X a little bit. Um, Used to do something called the Trade Doctor, and I'm going to get back into doing the Trade Doctor, but it's going to be a little bit different. So I haven't made the announcement yet. I'm going to send it out tomorrow. So I'm going to start doing the Trade Doctor again, but I'm not going to be doing a live spaces and a live Q&A. Essentially, what this is going to be is for the ones that don't know what Trade Doctor was when people at the end of the week, usually on Thursdays or Fridays, we would host a live space for the Trade Doctor and myself and a few other, analysts on there, mainly from like the Wolf Crew from YouTube and on X. We go on there and people would maybe have taken a trade earlier that week and got stopped out of position or they sold it for a loss and they're trying to, get our 2 cents, like maybe get our opinion on the chart. Did we agree with their technical analysis? Maybe we're going to see something on the chart that they didn't see. Just share our opinion and our technical analysis on the chart. That way we can potentially help them moving forward. So that is essentially what the Trade Doctor was. It was just a live Q&A between our listeners, our traders, versus our analysts and traders that were on the X Spaces on the panel. So what I'm going to be doing is starting the Trade Doctor again, but what I'm going to have people do is actually send me either a voice clip or a video clip of their question. So either one of those two, they're either going to send me the voice clip saying, "Hey Casey, like I took this trade," or maybe I'm having issues right now with trying to size up my risk management. I'm getting too emotional. I don't understand like how the psychological aspect of trading, how I cannot let my mind, control my trades and stuff like that. And it's messing up, my technical analysis. I'm losing money, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? Send me a voice clip or a video clip explaining something that's going wrong or that you're trying to improve on, or you want my 2 cents on, and I'm going to do a stitch. So essentially, where I'll split the screen in half. I'll have your recording underneath, and I'll play it, and then on the top half, whenever the bottom clip ends, I'll answer on mine, and essentially be posting that onto social media, onto my Instagram, onto TikTok, on the YouTube Live, or on the YouTube channel for the shorts, also on X and stuff like that. And that's essentially how I'm going to start doing the Trade Doctor again. So I'm going to send out a post tomorrow and it's going to have my business email on there that you can send it to my business email. You can also send the voice and video clips directly to my DMs on X as well. I will then go through them, download them, and essentially make like a Trade Doctor, video one all the way until, 100, 200, whatever it is. and every other day I'll go through them, select one, play it, and then answer it, and then post it onto the social media accounts, and just keep doing that over and over again, and essentially answering all the questions that people have and running the trade doctor that way. So thought it would be a pretty good idea, a little good thing for, social media as well, just to go ahead and, share those kinds of things between us guys that are on, the X spaces and all the analysts that are up there, but along with, having that connection with our listeners and our fellow traders out there too that just want some insight from us. So gonna be doing that. So stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead and jump into these charts. Yes, you can, absolutely. So let's go ahead and jump into these charts. We're gonna look at SPY. The main thing with SPY that I'm watching is the weekly chart. So I talked about this one before, where this was an evening star, which is my bearish reversal of my favorite bearish reversal of all time that you want to see. At the top of an uptrend, I would love to see an evening star. So SPY did have an evening star up here, but so far it's holding this volume shelf. You go to SPY, you go to the daily, your volume point of control is right there around 664. And if you throw on the 50-day, all right, so it hit it back here in October. It hit it again and held in November, and it just hit it again and reclaimed. Very bullish sign. So one thing that I'm watching is two things. You have this area right here where it's rejecting, this area right here where it's bouncing. So if there's two things you need to know on SPY, you need to mark around 674. You need to mark around 660. I say 664. I'm just going to actually go down closer to 663. You need to mark about those two areas here. Take it down to a 30-minute. You'll see the reaction that SPY had right where I just put that right here. Big reaction. So I actually took calls here. You know why I took calls. So if you go to a 4-hour chart on SPY, and I sent this chart out prior to market open. Go to SPY on a 4-hour chart. It was clear as day to see this, where SPY had a big reaction near that area here, had a double bottom off that area here, and that morning pre-market, it had come down and it was testing that area right here as well. You would have taken a trend line starting from this low here to hit this second low right there, run that across, go to your 5-minute, look at what happened with SPY at the trend line and the level. Look at the size of the candles that came in that morning when that area was tested right here. And that's where I took calls. The second I saw this big reaction right here, and we started to pop up right here, started getting into calls. Took calls, I think, 3 times that morning on SPX, and it was absolutely fantastic. So looking for, essentially, you want to mark the zone. The zone that you're going to want to see on SPY reclaim about right here. Once it starts to get above 674, you want to see the move up here closer to that 677. When SPY starts to get back above 677, I think that can be a very, very good sign to start pushing back up, honestly, to the mid 680s and go back to testing these highs back up here, potentially make new all-time highs. So, it sounds a little crazy, but that is my main watch as of right now. I believe in the after session, right after hours right now. Oh. I saw Google was up like 5 or 6%. It's fucking wild. Yeah, it's up 6% right now. Google's up $17 after hours. It's insane. SPY is at it hit 674, and it is at 673.6. So it's between the after hours from Friday to where that level that I put right here. It wicked above it by what is that, like 20, 30 cents, and it just pulled back down to 673.24, which is essentially this level right here, and it's kind of bouncing up. So SPY is just sitting right underneath it. I want SPY to reclaim this area here and get the move all the way back up to 677. I think it'd be a great thing to see pre-market. Once we see a breaking close over top of that area there, I think we're going to be off to the races for a nice trend back up to 680 cycle level and then mid 680s around 682, 683. So that's best case scenario for bull side. Downside is that it's actually going to lose the Thursday session low. It's going to be around right here. It's going to be around that 670 area. If SPY goes underneath 670, I say there's a good chance of coming back down, a few dollars and potentially coming down to Friday's low. So keep that on watch for SPY. Don't think it's in a squeeze on any crazy time frame, 15 and 30 minute, which is nothing significant. So keep those on watch for SPY, those levels. For Qs, I mean, right there off the fucking, right there, off that same area of support, getting that bounce back up. So for Qs, you want to see, gosh dang it, you want to see the move back above around 613. You don't want to see Qs honestly start to go back underneath 600 area again. Go to the 1 hour here. Beautiful morning star reversal here on the 1 hour. Straight to volume point of control. Straight to the same high. That's right over here. Right. Drag that over. Broke down, closed underneath. SR flip went lower, came down, hit around equal low, reversed, came back up, hit the same spot. So now I'm looking for a reclaim of that area right now on QQQ. So get a trend line. Let's draw this over. So essentially what I would like to see is Qs to break above this spot right here and get the move from here up to 618. So very similar to the SPY. So if I go back over to SPY, right, very similar to the SPY where I want to see the move over top of this right here. And once we see the move from over top of this, I think we can start getting that push up right here. So 677 for SPY. For QQQ, I think it's going to be 613. Get the move to 618. Okay, so 677 on SPY, 618 for Qs. If those two levels break and close over top, I think we start pushing up higher to the mid 620s back on QQQ. So that'll be the top watch downside. For upside, for downside, it's going to be around 606, 605 area for QQQ. This area right here. If we reject 613, come back down, lose 606, 605, I say there's a good chance going back down to the 600, 599 area and taking it from there. So that's what I would watch on QQQ. So we've already looked at a few of those other charts. Um, let's go look at this one real quick. We'll go look at CVX and then DVN. So what's up, Amp? And said, well, my Sunday just got 10 times better. Buffett bought Google last quarter, 13th filing came out Friday. Geez, so let's go. You see your SPY. Any gaps that need to be filled for SPY Qs and IWM? I don't think there's any gaps right now that need to be filled. Um, not that I see right now. I think we've filled majority of all the gaps. So I'm sure we're going to have an overnight gap from the weekend going into Monday potentially if we see continuation to this kind of upside that we're seeing after hours. I haven't even looked at the future session, to be honest with you. I've been super busy all day until just the last like 2 or 3 hours. I was able to look at charts. So I haven't really been up to date on some of the news. So thank you, Amp, for the Google. I mean, I knew it had to be something being up 5, 6%. I mean, that's obviously something out of the freaking norm for Google, but no, I don't think we're going to have, I don't think we have any gaps right now that need to be filled on these names. But if we continue to move up like we're doing, we are going to have a overnight session gap that could potentially get filled in the future. But as of right now, no, there's nothing that I see on Spike using IWM. For iDubbbz, I mean, I would have liked to see IWM pull back down to 230. It did come down to 233, so it got close. Not really where I wanted it to go down to. Let me draw a fib from this April low real quick up to there. The 382 lines up, I mean, literally directly across that area right there, which would have been uh, pretty nice, that volume point of control for a freaking big dip down to 222. But no, IWM still holding up um, fairly decent right now, but it's not in a squeeze on any time frame. I'm not seeing really too much that I like on IWM right now. The only thing is that it would need to reclaim this area here, like right here. I mean, so it's a decent sized move. It needs to go back up to like 243.3. Um, because once it gets above this area right here, and Lux Algo indicator kind of already hits it with that trend line as well. I would like to see the move up to right here on IWM. So $5 from where it's currently at, would like to see the move up to here. So very similar to SPY 677, very similar to QQQ, whatever the hell it was. I already fucking forgot what it was. 618 for IWM, I'd say it's going to be around 243.3 area. I think once you see the move above that, it should get a nice move straight up to previous week high, just above 246. Once IWM gets above 246, I would say that's a very, very good sign. If you start to get daily candle closes above this area right up here on IWM, I think that's a very good sign for IWM. Now, getting the move up to 243.3 on IWM, if it does give a nice, 1 to 2 day move up there, when it initially does come up to test around that 243 area, if I'm long, I'm absolutely looking to exit majority of that position by that point, and then just flipping and doing the opposite right after that potentially and going short. Or if I'm not long, risk to reward, looking to go for a short right there, that's going to be the spot for IWM. So, test around, starts entering into around 243, put a tight stop, maybe just less than $1 or so, and then it can even target all the way back down to 240 psych level would probably be the big first target. Because if you look over here and look at the reactions right here that it has, is boom, 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 big reactions. Drag it over, boom, big reaction right here. Knife through, reclaim, knife through. Now I want to see it reclaim, but again, when it goes and initially tests that area, I would target that same spot back downside. If that were to happen, I would love to see, in a perfect world, again, just hypothetically speaking, in a perfect world, IWM reclaims 240. I go long, take it to 243 area. I exit majority and I flip short. When I flip short, I take it back down to 240. Probably those are going to be puts that I would take. All right. I'd exit majority and have runners there. I would want to see a higher low here off of that. And then again, on a break retest, that's a great spot to go long here on IWM, right? So now I want to break through that trend line, break through that 243 area, and then get that move up to 246. In a perfect world, this is what would happen on IWM for me this week to be able to trade at both sides, right? Just no bias, just looking at the chart. That's 100% what I would love to see. So if we continue to see good movement upside within SPY, Qs, and IWM this week after we had 2 days of nasty selling. Well, kind of day and a quarter, I suppose. Thursday, complete sell off. Friday, pre market, more sell off. And then Friday, nice reversal, but only, maybe a third of the entire downside move that it made, it was able to reclaim. So if there is some kind of relief and support bounce right here, and then it starts to continue to be a bull market and we push back and try to go back to at least test some of these previous highs or the equal highs and potentially make new all-time highs by the end of the year. These are the setups that I'd be looking to see happen as we move forward into the week. So again, break 240. Want to see the move to 243. Lower high can be a nice rejection. Short back down to 240. Does the SR flip high or low? I go long. It breaks 243 and breaks that trend line of the lower highs. Goes to 246. After that, 250, 253. In a perfect world there for IWM. So those are the main things and levels that I'm watching when it comes to SPY, QQQ, and IWM. So go ahead and dive into some other bullshit. So CVX. Okay, actually let's go to your weekly first. All right, so CVX. Sent out a post earlier just about looking at some things with market rotation. The top two things that I was looking at for market rotation, one of them being energy, the other one being the leader as of right now, which was healthcare. So if you look at names like J&J, look at LLY, for example. I mean, that's the hot stock right now within the healthcare sector that everyone's talking about. I mean, just absolutely continuing to rip, making new 52-week highs every single day. So along up there in the strong sectors, you have energy, looking at things like CVX. So I really like this tweezer bottom right here, this weekly double bottom. I think this looks very, very interesting on CVX. Not only that, it is in a high compression weekly squeeze right now. It is moving to the downside, but it has not flipped bearish. And until that happens, I mean, I still have to just look at the chart, and because it is starting to move downside on the histogram, but we're also just putting in kind of a lower high right now. So, excuse me. So it hasn't flipped bearish. Would want it to stay above the zero line and then start to curl back upside. Would like to see higher lows on the RSI, right? Hold above 50 neutral right here. Hold above 50 neutral, go to 70, right? In a perfect world. MACD was bullish. It just tried to flip bearish, tried to go back bullish, flip back bearish. Now it's flipping back bullish. So MACD is a little bit out of whack, but that's because we're in this consolidation. Consolidation leads to expansion. Question is, you got to do technical analysis to determine your thesis for which way is the expansion going to be, upside or downside. So looking at this chart here on the weekly, I really like it for potential upside. Let me look at the monthly. Tell me this isn't just a giant fucking bull flag. I mean, why not? Previous month is a nice little green hammer. So far this month is a doji. Let's just make it another hammer and then rip to 167, go to 170, right? Look at your daily. I mean, this daily looking like it wants to freaking go. You can maybe articulate a little inverse head and shoulders action. I don't know. But I'm not just trying to keep on finding bull cases. But when I'm just looking at this chart, is I just see a lot more reasons to have a more bullish thesis than a bearish thesis. So keep an eye on CVX. Along with that, you have DVN. Go to DVN, not so much nice on the monthly, right? But it is basing right here. It's not going any lower. It's kind of going sideways. Now, go to the weekly, you mark where this evening star was, right at the high. Beautiful freaking short, right? Love seeing a huge green run. Look, it's actually a morning star right here off the low. Look at that. You get a morning star right off a low that held all these green candles, and then a first little red candle up here leads into his twin evil uh, little brother right here, this evening star, and sells it downside. It's beautiful. And then big reaction right here, downside, right? So do an SR flip around, 38, 39, big rejection. Finally breaking above that trend line. Anyways, long story short, go to the weekly. Look at this freaking weekly squeeze. I mean, this is absolutely insane. Now, this one did flip bearish not last week, 2 weeks ago. And last week it went yellow. So it did not give another red bar on the histogram. It actually went up higher to go to yellow. So it's been a squeeze for quite some time. So now I'm wondering if energy continues to be, strong with some of these names pushing up higher. If it flips back to light blue, from yellow to light blue, stays in the squeeze that it is in right now. It's been in the squeeze since fucking July. If it curls back up, reclaims the neutral, the zero line here, goes back light blue, squeeze fires upside, MACD is still bullish, RSI, bullish divergence, higher lows looking good. I think you could see a move at least back up here to that same SR flip zone right there. It's going to be around 38, 39. Now, if it starts to break above that, I mean, can start getting a really good move upside. But just looking at, again, some of these energy names, when I was looking at CVX, this is another one that I came across was DVN. It's in a really big squeeze as well, and I think has potential for at least another $3 move upside. So 35, $36 stock going to 39 bucks. Decent move for the stock overall. So I think that can be maybe a little nice energy play. That's right there. So keep that on watch. Going to cover Pepsi real quick, just because no one really likes to talk about Pepsi and KO. I love trading Pepsi and KO, but you still can't ignore this. I mean, you can't, you can't ignore it. Still can't ignore this freaking 140 area still holding, and now it just hit a trend line support for the third time on this weekly chart. It's also in a squeeze. Squeeze just started on this previous bar. It is moving to the downside. That is because we are making lower highs as of right now, right here. So absolutely making sense. But MACD still bullish as of right now. RSI still, chopping around 50, but above neutral level right now, which is a good sign as well. Go to your daily. Recently had a really good reaction. Got a long wick on the bottom, closed a little bit of a doji candle, nothing too crazy. But even if it retraces back down to 143, I think it'd be a good area for a support area to still hold. But there is a gap to fill on the daily right up here. It takes it to about 150. So there's a daily gap fill area right here on Pepsi. So I would like to see the weekly essentially take it up to that area there if this continues to hold. Now, I would 100% expect a big fat rejection at 150. So Pepsi right now currently at 145.85 gets the nice move, goes to 150. And I took 150 calls to go on the money. If I draw this trend line right here, if it ends up creeping its way up here to 150 and poking its head over to 151 area, like right around right there, hits that trend line for a lower high, I think it's a great opportunity for a short, but that would also be probably my full target here in runners only for a potential long. So I think you have opportunity to play it upside and be in runners, but then also potentially look at a potential short at Pepsi at 150 as well. Obviously, along with that, I talk about KO. KO's already doing the thing. Fucking love KO. Higher lows right here. This is the monthly chart. Take down the October low. This one right here of January 2025 and now September and October 2025. Nice higher low, but this flat freaking top that's around 73, 74 bucks. So would like to see a move back up into that zone. It's not too much higher, but if it breaks the top of that zone, potentially send KO to, new highs after that. It is in a weekly squeeze right now. It is moving to the upside. It has not flipped bullish yet, but it is in a high compression squeeze that is moving to the upside. At that same time, your MACD has already crossed bullish right now. That's a good sign. Your RSI also is moving higher and is above 50. So RSI is above the neutral level. Want to see it go from 50 to 70. Want to see the MACD stay bullish. Want to see this squeeze continue to move upside, go from yellow to light blue, fire upside. And when it does, you could potentially see at least the equal and previous highs right here. If it wants to do it, I mean, just make a new all-time high. Just go to 75 bucks. So continue to watch KO and Pepsi. Again, not a lot of people like to trade these two names. I love trading these two names. So so keep those ones on watch. I mean, there's a lot of freaking things on there. XOM looks good too. Oh, buddy, you're telling me, did you see my chart, Imp? Is my top watch upside? In my most recent tweet, my bullish thesis, my top watch upside is XOM. We sent it last week. Knots took the 120 calls with me, and then he didn't take them in the money with me. What the heck? But that weekly squeeze still hasn't fired. It's still in the you fucking weekly squeeze. I mean, MACD is still holding bullish, looking fantastic. RSI is still creeping up higher. It hasn't got the big move yet. It hasn't done it. So go to the daily, you'll see back right here, nice little equal hold right here of this previous day low. That was what, a Friday, and then Tuesday they hit the Friday's little big bounce off of it. Nice area for the longs. End up taking the calls on XOM. Got a nice move to the upside right here. The 120 calls went in the money. I no longer have this position. Get a uh, move like this, lower highs. So let me move that down a little bit. And then another nice little lower wick right here in green hammer candle. Currently looking at the Friday chart there. So I think it looks good. This monthly chart is freaking ready to bust. Oh my goodness. The monthly look. The monthly has been downside and it went all the way red and it didn't fire. And now this monthly is pushing up and now it's yellow. The MACD has been bearish the whole time. And look, it looks like it's about to freaking cross and go bullish. It wants to do it so bad. It just, God, if it can just break this freaking upper range where it just keeps rejecting and keeping it in its consolidation, like instead of just rejecting this, just fucking just send this bad boy. Like, do it. But XOM last week was my top bullish watch upside. It's still my top bullish watch upside. Downside is Visa. I was in Visa puts in the small account challenge. It took too long. Contracts were just starting to burn, and then I actually hit a good play that day in the small account challenge, made some money, and then actually cut these for I think -9%. It's a very small loss. But now, and look, it's still here. The daily chart from or the weekly chart, sorry, went from yellow back to red and then another red while it's been in the squeeze. I was like, okay, that's not a good sign. Your MACD is also not trying to curl up like the previous chart was on XOM, right? It was starting to curl up at the bottom. The MACD is still completely red and not trying to curl. RSI back below 50 right here. So looking for the move down to 30. I want to see squeeze downside, this day bearish, this day bearish. It just broke trend line right here as well. So that was the main thing I was watching and front running. Was right here and just been waiting for the longest time. And now it finally broke. And then I have this indicator up here as well. It just broke below the yellow zone and the line is going red. I want to see continuation on this red line down to the green zone. So essentially what I want to see is a move down to about 310 air, or sorry, 320, 310. So here to about here is where I'm targeting for downside. So would love to see it come down to this area here. Starts to lose, I mean, obviously 300 psych level would be like runners only by that point. But I think 310, 320 is going to be the first big targets downside. That's where it can start to stall out for a little bit and then potentially have to wait for, another setup. Maybe consolidation leads to a bear flag and then bear flag breakdown on the daily or weekly takes you to 300 psych level. Um, but for the squeeze downside and everything, now that we broke structure and broke this trend line on the weekly, first things I'm looking for 310 at least to the downside. So 320 real quick, but mainly that 310. And then if it gets down to 300, I think you can see a good bounce by that point. But this is my top watch for downside. It's ticker V. So that's Visa. So keep an eye on that one. So, I mean, SPY, Qs, IWM, um, Pepsi, KO, CVX, DVN, XOM, Visa. I mean, we're covering a lot here, guys. I can't give out all the secrets for everything that I'm doing, but and believe it or not, there's more. Again, two banks that I'm watching: JPM, BAC. I'm watching ABT and ABBV for upside. I'm watching Affirm for downside. I'm still watching CRM Salesforce for potential upside. Keep this name. I mean, M's probably still looking at this thing too. It's still in that same weekly squeeze. MACD still bullish. RSI still holding. It's still holding that base. That's right down here. It broke the trend line. It just retested it and it's still holding. So as long as risk to reward, I mean, again, that's what I look at. That's what I look at whenever I enter into trades. It's just risk to reward, even just taking it back up to that same spot. Um, right here at 243. I mean, buy some calls for a decent swing trade, but um, risking if it closes underneath this low, but at least to move back up to here. I think if it does come back up to that high, I don't think it's stopping there by that point. I think it's in this the weekly squeeze that it's in right now. It's trying to move back upside. Again, MACD and RSI are trying to put in bullish divergence. The RSI needs to get above this 50 and hold. Every time it pops up right here, it gets sent straight back down. So I need the RSI to start to get a move upside, break above that 50, MACD stay bullish. I think once it pushes above 260 again, um, all three of those things can line up, and then you can probably get the daily squeeze to fire upside, break through 272, 275. And I think once that happens on CRM, if it does, best case scenario, you'll get that push to 300. So keep CRM on watch as well. We've been charting that thing for the longest freaking time. That guy stinks. Knots. No, Knots is the goat. CoreWeave. Nothing really too interesting on CoreWeave. How far do I buy calls? Um, it depends. So if it's something that I'm taking on, intraday, like if I were to take calls on CRM, say intraday for whatever reason, just off of, say, a bull flag breakout here, intraday right here. So for an intraday based on 5, 10, 15-minute chart, right now it's November 16th. I'd probably be taking end of month. There's going to be November 28th calls for an intraday. Now, that is because it's based off a 5, 10, 15-minute intraday chart. I'm going to take November 28th. It's a little bit of time. I'm not taking weeklies. It's usually at least 2 weeks out, somewhere around 2 weeks, as close as I can. A few days before, a few days after, but anywhere around 14 days out from, you know, current current date where we're at right now. So as of right now, if I'm going to day trade something, November 28th. If I'm looking at daily charts for swings, December 19, 12/19. I'm going to take a month out, so about 30 days. Weekly charts right now, January 2026 to March, April 2026. Weekly and monthly charts are going to be starting around, the March and April 2026 to January 2027. So again, it depends on the time frame for the technical analysis. Because if it's based on a 5 to 10, 15-minute bull flag, I'm not going to take January calls for 2026. Could I? Yes, but why would I? Right? I'm looking for a smaller intraday move. I can take November 28th, capitalize on that, and be perfectly fine. But if it's based off a daily and weekly chart, I need more time. So dailies, I'm usually looking for next month. So as of right now, it's November 16th. I'm taking 12/19. Majority of every single swing trade, if I take this week based on a daily or weekly chart, it's going to be for December 19, um, and potentially some 2026s. I'll go ahead and share this with you before I go. I'm in Oracle calls down here. Love me or hate me, don't care. I'm in Oracle calls right here off of this little zone that I have right here that it's reclaiming. So I really do like the bounce risk to reward spot right here on the daily and weekly for Oracle. What I don't like, obviously, is this thing is that it's in a clear freaking downtrend, right? So I'm looking for this area to hold on Oracle, but because it's based off of mainly looking at this weekly chart, it rejected here, consolidated. If you go to the daily, it makes it very clear to see, right? Consolidated here until it gapped above it, all right? Pulled back down, morning star reversal with those three candles and a big reaction, right? SR flip, very important area. So now it cruises up higher. Then it comes back down to retest it, gets a green hammer candle directly off that zone. What happens again? It gaps up again, all the way up here. This is from earnings, but holds support. Nevertheless, gets a nice push up here. Earnings catalyst, rip it higher. And we just get a move all the way down. Huge, huge, huge selling, right? And then just as it closes right at it, the next daily candle goes underneath. They sweep it, and you get a nice big green candle for the first time in a while as the reaction right here off of that. So because of that, I am in Oracle $300 calls for January 2026 within my small account challenge. So, can I get ran over? Absolutely. Am I catching a falling knife? Absolutely. Is it a good risk to reward trade to be looking at longs on Oracle down here? In my opinion, absolutely. So, I think it's a great spot to be looking. Will sent me a message earlier or in the comments earlier about Oracle, and it's the reason why it came to mind just because I was talking about it in the comments to him and responding. But he said that he had sold puts on Oracle. And I think that is 100% an absolutely amazing thing to do right here on Oracle after this downside move. I think with the kind of premium that you can get on Oracle options, I think it's a great freaking thing right here to sell puts. What's selling puts is nevertheless a more bullish thesis than bearish thesis and a good risk to reward trade for where Oracle is currently at. Vice versa, from selling the puts within the small account challenge, I took calls. So currently in Oracle calls, I think they were expensive. They were like for the small account challenge, they were $345 per contract. I think they popped up barely anything to like 365, which is nothing. Just $20 per contract gain, but obviously higher premium is needed for a higher time frame move than just $20. So I think they closed around that price. So still looking for a potential larger move. So I want to see Oracle continue to hold this position here, but because it is based on this higher time frame area, I do have those calls for January. So HD, take it to the ground, burn it. That sector is hurting right now, and HD is not looking good. They have earnings, so in my opinion, this week for HD, um, if you can catch something intraday for a momentum ride down or upside, before their earnings report, I think that's fantastic. But keep in mind, I mean, option chain may get a little bit funky. You could have some little bit more, higher premiums going on. So just keep an eye on that. HD is already a tough one to day trade as it is mainly a swing trade name, in my opinion. So if they do have earnings coming up, so it might be a thing to just keep on watching the back burner. Not so much look at it to day trade, but the name's been hurting. That sector overall within it's been hurting. I mean, look at the relative weakness that it's just been having for a little bit of time now. Monthly chart. Oh Jesus, that's a freaking short. Okay, first of all, two things, and then I'm done. I promise. Okay, two things. As resistance. That's an evening star. That's a fat evening star right here. Technically, so look, this I would say, man, look at that's an evening star. 9 times out of 10, next candle's red. Boom. This is an evening star. 9 times out of 10, next candle is red. Held and almost reversed it with a morning star. Hello, right? And then another evening star at the same place where the first one was, getting a move down. This is on the monthly chart. So I would say not looking too hot. Not looking too hot. Um, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. You maybe that's a giant head and shoulders right there. Gonna break this freaking trend line and just sell down to 300? I don't know. That would be something. That would be something. HD 300 puts, earnings lotto. I don't know. Maybe on the table. We'll see. So, all right, that's it for me, guys. We're wrapping up this whole thing here. Make sure you do like and repost this stream as it is recorded. Um, been going on for about an hour right now. Hold on. I gotta go look at something real quick. Oh, oh Jesus. Is this thing about to make a new all-time low, or is it gonna finally catch a little bounce here? So last time it hit this area back in February and March 2025, you have this area right here. It's entering back into it right now. So I would say risk to reward. Um, it looks great for a potential spot to go long right now. Daily, there it is right here, entering into it. So you'll see the reaction that it had previously here when this area was tested, and now it's coming to test this area again. So again, risk to reward, not a bad name to be looking for potential call swings here. I would say you can risk what, $10? So I think you could, let me pull it up. Yeah, at least back up to like 1350. I mean, risk to reward, again, going long here, scaling into a position, risking down the 10, at least getting a move back up to 13.5 right now as it sits. It's almost uh, a 3R trade. So risk losing, $1,000, hitting full target can make 3,000. Your reward's 3 times greater, hitting 1350 than what your risk is. So not a bad one here. I have to keep this one on watch. Let me screenshot this. Um, watch Data Dog under 177. Got a gap fill underneath of that. You have a evening star up here at the high on the daily chart as well. So, all right, guys, that's it for me. How many people tuned into the stream? Let's go check. Love and appreciate you all. Let's go check. How many people tuned into this thing? I don't even freaking know. On a Sunday night, what do we get? Oh, yeah, almost 2,000. Between YouTube and X, we're around 1,900. Appreciate you all who tuned into this. Let's have a great Oh yeah, KO. Mm-hmm. KO and Pepsi. I'm telling you, man. KO and Pepsi. There's there's three things. Okay, I'm gonna leave it with this. When you see me send charts and trades on KO and Pepsi, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a plus 1 to 500% trade. When you see me trade NCLH and CCL, which is the cruise lines, Norwegian and Carnival, when you see me trade both of them at the same time, 90% chance, 1 to 500% trade. When you see me take the banks, WFC, BAC, Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, JPM, multiple of them at the same time, there's a 90% chance all of those freaking trades are going to go green. I absolutely love trading those names. And again, not a lot of people like to trade those names. Not a lot of people like trading the banks. They just watch them. I do both. I like really love trading the banks, and then I love trading the cruise lines. Airlines are a little bit trickier, but airlines when they all start to go with some good momentum, they can really start to have good days where they rip like 5 to 10% on AL or DAL or United UAL, but I do like the cruise lines as well. Um, so you see me send those charts and those trades on those names. Yeah, keep tabs on those ones. So, all right, guys, love you all. Appreciate it. Hope everyone has a great rest of their night. Hope you had a great weekend. Let's crush the market this week. Don't forget, make sure you're looking at your earnings calendar for the week for some of your favorite names that are going to be reporting. The main one, obviously, Wednesday for NVIDIA. So make sure you're keeping that on watch. So let's see if we have any crazy Trump tweets or headlines that come out that give us some volatility. But let's make volatility great again. VIX closed just under 20. So we'll see how the market reacts this week. I'm hoping we get a little bit more upside action and then potential pullback higher low and then get a nice rip. Um, into the end of the year. We'll see. I think we could get a good support bounce here for the next week or two. And then December, first week or two, I think we could see a sell off, terrible price action during that time, and then potentially see the move back up to wherever those highs were at the first week or two of December, and then break through them and start pushing up a little bit higher for the end of the year. That would be a perfect case scenario for price action to end the year. So we'll see. But if you want to come hang out with the Casey Trades Discord trading team, where I live stream and live trade, live teach every single day, the link is up there on the screen as linked to my website. You can also just go to my bio on YouTube or X, wherever you're watching it. You'll see a link to my Discord server as well, also to my WAP store, where you can get access to the premium Discord where I do live stream, live trade, and live teach every single day. It is not only myself that is in there, I have other amazing analysts for day trading and swing trading options, along with futures trading as well. We have a great group of team here, almost 9,000 members within the community. So, if you want to come hang out, make sure you hit that link. Come join our team. You can get a free 7-day trial. Just come see if it's the community for you. Someone said, "What about Oxy?" Oh, another energy one. Yep, I like looking at Oxy as well. It's a little bit of a lagger, but it does have that potential morning star on the weekly. It's on watch as well from last week with XOM. I just took XOM because I liked the way that chart looked better. But yes, Oxy can be a nice sympathy play for potential upside with XOM. So, um, but again, you can get a 7-day free trial. Come hang out with the Casey Trades premium Discord team, see if it's the place for you. And if it's not, it's not. But I do encourage everybody to get involved into a trading community. I think it really does help to find a community that you can grow with. Again, if you're around 9 other amazing traders, you will be the 10th. So don't do it by yourself. Don't trade by yourself. It's always lonely, it's boring. Get around a solid group of traders that you can connect with. So hopefully it's our team, our community. So make sure you use that free trial. Use code KC30, KC30 whenever you do sign up. Gives you 30% off whatever you want. Whether it's your first month, your year, if you want to do lifetime, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You'll get 30% off that. So make sure you use that code again, KC30, whenever you do sign up and use your free trial. If you decide to stay, that way you get that discounted code that's in there. So for the premium Discord team that's watching the live stream over here, I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning for the live trading session. I will also be a guest speaker on the Wolf Trading Spaces this week, along with the Wolf Trading YouTube channel as well, hanging out over there. I will mainly be live streaming and live trading within the Discord community, but I will also be a guest speaker over there whenever I can. So